Hi, I'm Janeda from fattoflacca.com. Thank you so much for liking my page. I have to date, well to the minute, 1:29 p.m. Central Time, 499 likes, which means I am probably going to have my 500th like any moment today, so I'm very excited. I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who follows the page. I just try to post articles that I find interesting related to healthy lifestyle, to weight loss surgery, to plus size fashion, and I am so excited that there are so many women and men who are interested in kind of learning the same things that I'm learning and watching me throughout this entire process. In less than 5 months, I have lost 115 pounds, 30 of which was before April 25th on, my medically supervised diet. The rest of it has been post-op. I am not like an obsessive compulsive weigher, so I don't weigh myself every week. I really try not to be a slave to the scale. That was definitely a big issue I had before the surgery. I am tracking it on MyFitnessPal. You can add me, Fat2Flacca. I take pictures of the scale. I post my weight up, so that's kind of like tracking it for me. And I see my doctors pretty often, so when the website comes up, I will put a month-to-month maybe weight loss scale or schedule or calendar up there so that you guys can see how the process has been. Also, I'm getting a lot of questions about the process of the surgery. I would love to dedicate an entire blog to that. I'll give you a little overview of that right now. So the process for the surgery, I had a vertical sleeve gastrectomy or a sleeve gastrectomy on April 25th at St. Joseph's Hospital, a Resurrection Healthcare hospital in Chicago, Illinois. I just so happen to also be a Resurrection Healthcare employee. My insurance is Blue Cross Blue Shield, HMO. The process for my insurance in particular was that I would have to be on a 3-month supervised weight loss diet and exercise regimen with my primary care physician, who I will refer to in all of my videos from this point on as my PCP. She's also awesome. Her name is Dr. Clore Gross of Sage Medical Group. I asked her about the procedure. She referred me to Dr. Lutfi, who was my surgeon at St. Joseph's Hospital. He is the surgeon for the Chicago Center for Advanced Bariatrics, who's also a dope-ass guy. He's really laid back, very informative. You can ask him anything. There are monthly seminars at St. Joseph Hospital at the Center for Advanced Bariatrics, I think once or twice a month. They're completely free. The surgeon actually shows up. You can ask him questions very specifically. So inbox me if you want a little more information, or you want information just from my perspective before you go there, or to any doctor just on the surgery itself. I don't get paid to refer my doctor or my surgeon. I don't get any sort of money for encouraging people to see them. I just truly believe that I was treated very, very kindly and with respect with my primary care physician and my surgeon, and that's something that as a person who's morbidly obese, I really appreciate in the healthcare industry, because sometimes we are treated like people who are too dumb to be healthy, or as less than, and that's not how I felt at all in this process. After my 3-month supervised diet and exercise program, I lost about 20 or so pounds in the span of about 3 months, which was a really big deal for someone who weighed about 405 pounds. I got down to, 380 or 378, something along those lines. And I was able to lose another 12 pounds in my 2-week liquid diet that I had to do before the actual procedure date. Before my surgery, in order to shrink my liver and kind of empty out my stomach, I guess, as much as possible, you have to be on complete liquids for 2 weeks. There's other surgeons that will let you have 1 meal a day, like a salad, or will let you have certain protein shakes throughout that period. My diet was very, very, very strict. Only clear liquids and proteins. So I was only able to have sugar-free Jell-O, water, chicken broth, sugar-free juices like Crystal Light, vegetable broth, beef broth. It was torture. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was very difficult. Oh, I just got my 500th like on Facebook right now. See, yay. Oh no, you can't see. Let's see. That's a notification from my best friend that says, whoop whoop, 500. So yay, it's the perfect timing for me to do this video right now. But back to our regularly scheduled program. Um, After I completed my supervised diet and my liquid diet, I went in for my procedure. Throughout that process, I also had to see a psychologist to make sure that I wasn't mentally unstable for this procedure. Some people just generally have severe eating disorders, and this surgery is not for everybody. If you're not going to have discipline, if you're not going to be able to control your eating, if you're not going to be able to maintain a physical fitness regimen, then you should not have the surgery because you will gain all your weight back. My surgeon said it to me. I'm saying it to you because it's true. There are people who have the VSG procedure or lap band or gastric bypass, and they eat themselves out of a damn house and home and have to either get their surgery revised or just have to start over. And it's unfortunate, but I in no way, shape, or form will allow for this opportunity to be taken away from me. Besides the psychological evaluation, I also had to see a nutritionist before the surgery just to learn about how eating after surgery would be, about my liquid diet, about the diet that you have to be on after surgery, because after surgery you can only have liquid for a certain amount of time, then full liquids for a certain amount of time, then soft food, pureed foods, then soft foods, then regular foods. So, in this last 5 months, I have been through an emotional roller coaster because I have missed at very specific times, like at gatherings and parties, being able to have the same thing that other people are able to consume at these events. But I very, very quickly snapped myself back into it. Like, honey, you are losing hundreds of pounds. Stop playing. Don't treat yourself. And I'm reminded that what I'm going through is worth it. And in another year, when I expect to be at my goal, which is another question I get asked a lot. What is my goal? My goal is to weigh 180 pounds. I am 5'9", almost 5'10", and I think that as a tall woman, being even close to 200, I would probably still be very healthy. I'm not putting a number to my goal, of specific number. I won't be devastated if I don't get to 180, simply because I'm gonna go based on how I feel, how my body feels, how I feel emotionally, and not just on, a number on a scale that is going to torture me. Sorry, guys, I have ADD. I'm not even going to lie to you. Not officially diagnosed, self-diagnosed, but I just keep looking at this hair, honey. I'm not feeling it today, but whatever. It's falling out, by the way. That is one of the side effects of the weight loss surgery in the beginning, is that your calories are so low compared to what you used to have, that your follicles just kind of come out. Obviously I'm not balding, but it's a lot thinner than usual, but whatever. I'll take thin hair for a thin waist any day, honey. So after I went in to meet my surgeon, saw the psychologist, saw the nutritionist, had my 3-month supervised weight loss surgery, had my 2-week liquid diet, I had my surgery on April 25th at 6 a.m. in the morning. I was up and walking around that same day around 6 p.m. As of yesterday, September 12th, my doctor called me with all my blood results. I have to talk to my surgeon and my nutritionist about the results for my vitamins. They seem to be normal. My hemoglobin A1C, which is a cumulative test over the last 3 months of my glucose, I kind of compare it to a batting average versus like batting for one game. My glucose went from a 9.9 in November when I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes to a 5.7, which means I'm no longer diabetic. And I'm sure that's going to decrease. I eat very clean. I'm also not a food Nazi. I feel like if people want to eat things that are, not necessarily clean, like have a slice of pizza or, a turkey burger with or without the bun, whatever, that they should be able to enjoy those things in moderation. I try to cut processed food as much as possible out of my diet. I try not to have any starches or carbs. I can have them in moderation, but I just would rather not get used to eating carbs again, because that was like a huge addiction for me before surgery. Buttery breads and cheese sticks and pizza. I love pizza. Pizza is like my obsession, and I really haven't had a good slice of pizza in months now. But I'm sure sometime down the line, when I feel like my body and me are in sync, I'll be able to treat myself to a slice of pizza. Deep dish Giordano's pizza. If you're gonna do it right, honey. But other than that, lots of fruits, veggies, lean protein, I do have from time to time some whole grain pasta, or quinoa, or whole grain brown rice, but time to time, like once a month. And just as a bariatric patient, like I rather not be full from something that's going to expand in my little tiny pouch, which only holds 5 ounces or so. I'd rather preserve that space for something that's going to fuel me. I need the protein to help repair my muscles, not only after workouts, but after the rapid weight loss, you lose muscle. I need the nutrients in my fruits and vegetables to keep me going with my vitamins, and I would rather preserve that space for those things than, a slice of bread with, whatever I'm having for lunch or dinner. Which I have to say is a complete different way of thinking from before surgery. The way that I see food now and the way I saw food before, it's night and day. Honestly, completely different. The removal of the huge part of my stomach, and I'm not exaggerating, I had a huge stomach and a really, really fatty liver, actually. My surgeon told me after he cut me open. But the part they remove of your stomach when you have a vertical sleeve gastrectomy also removes the part that creates the hormones that make you really hungry. So I don't really get hungry per se. I know that I have to eat because I keep a food schedule. I know that I have to eat because I have to keep moving and living, but I'm not like, oh God, I'm starving. Like, that really doesn't happen anymore. If anything, I kind of get upset that I have to drink 60 ounces of water per day or more, because I feel like that keeps me so full that I don't even want to eat. And that hasn't changed in 5 months, so I'm grateful. I don't feel like I'm overstretching my pouch. In the beginning there was some regurgitation. Sorry, there was some throwing up because I didn't know what my limits were, and I would push it. And I quickly learned that, someone who never liked throwing up before, I still don't like doing that, and I got that in order. I also noticed there's certain things that upset my stomach now, like certain processed foods and certain fried food. I eat nothing fried. The 2 times since surgery that I've attempted to have fried shrimp and fried like shrimp shumai or wontons or something like that, it was just a disaster. I try not to eat out much anymore. It's really a waste of my money. I don't like to reheat leftovers anyway. And the portions that you get at restaurants nowadays are ridiculous. Like, honestly, you going to a restaurant and ordering food, like, chances are if you finished your plate, you ate for 3 or 4 people. I think portion control is something that I have a different perspective on than, the average person, because I have a different size stomach, but it's definitely something that I highly recommend you educate yourself on. It's all about portion control. Before my surgery, when I lost the first 30 pounds, I was eating regular portions. I was snacking in between my meals, so I was eating about 5 times a day, just smaller amounts and nutrient and protein packed meals, and it worked like a charm. But if there's stuff you want me to elaborate on, please comment below. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's Fata Flaca, F-A-T-2 F-L-A-C-A, and 2 is the number. I am on Twitter as Fata Flaca. I'm on Instagram as Fata Flaca. Anything else? Oh yeah, my fitness pal I said earlier, Fata Flaca, and I'm on Tumblr, fataflaca.tumblr.com. All of that can be found at www.fataflaca.com. There should be links to all of these things on there. I'm looking forward to my website launch party in December of 2012. Everyone will be invited. It's just going to be an all-out good damn time. So stay tuned on fataflaca.com. Share my page, my videos, my pictures with anyone you'd like. And, all I ask is in this process is that you share with me and you comment and you participate, and that we start a revolution for curvy Latinas everywhere to not be ashamed of their bodies, but to make sure that their health is in control and to feel powerful. Even if one person changes their perception of their bodies, what they look like, or is encouraged to start a physical activity regimen or to change their eating, just from liking my page and meeting other people who are in the same boat, I would be satisfied. So have a fabulous day. Thank you to all 500 people who like my page, to the couple hundred who like my Instagram, to the 250 or so that follow me on Tumblr. Thank you for being there. And I will try to keep it as real as possible, as raw as possible, and try to stay in touch as much as possible. Have an awesome day. Drink lots of water, eat healthy, and get some physical activity in today. All right, see you soon. fataflaca.com.